66 million years ago. A Tuesday, the last normal day on Earth.
The witness is grazing, unaware that the execution order has already been signed. Life in the Cretaceous is violent, yes, but it is predictable. Then, the physics change. The atmosphere begins to curdle. "2,000 miles south, the hammer has already dropped. The impact site. The flash travels at the speed of light.
In Montana, the sun is setting, but a second dawn is breaking.
The herd intelligence kicks in. They know something is wrong.
Seismic waves arrive first. The ground liquefies under their feet.
Look at the horizon. That isn't a storm. It's a mountain of glass.
The king of the Cretaceous challenges the sky. The sky does not care.
If you stood here, watching the wall of light approach, would you run?
The atmosphere is being breached. Billions of tons of rock returning home.
Ejecta, launched into space, now falling back as meteors. It looks beautiful, a meteor shower to end all meteor showers. But these aren't wishes. They are kinetic energy converted to heat.
The smart ones go underground. They sense the coming oven.
The ambient temperature climbs. 100 degrees, 120 degrees, rising fast.
The trap is set. The door is locked. The heat is here.
The forest is about to ignite. Subscribe to the Savannah Sagas to follow the evidence. We leave the surface. The murder weapon isn't the asteroid itself. It's what the asteroid threw up. Ejecta. Trillions of tons of rock, vaporized, launched into space, and now falling back at 40,000 miles per hour.
Friction. When rock hits air at re-entry speed, kinetic energy doesn't disappear. It transforms.
It becomes heat. One rock is a shooting star. Trillions of rocks are a global broiler grill.
This is the infrared pulse. The entire sky is turning into a radiator set to maximum power.
The atmosphere becomes opaque. It stops letting light through and starts broadcasting pure thermal radiation.
Think of a pizza oven. The fire is on the side, but the dome radiates heat down. The sky is the dome.
The total energy released in this hour equals 1 megaton nuclear bomb exploding every 6 kilometers.
There is nowhere to hide. This isn't a fire wave moving across the land. It is vertical engagement.
The heat travels at the speed of light. Line of sight. If you can see the sky is killing you.
Ground temperature spikes. We are crossing the threshold of biological endurance within minutes.
A flashpoint. Dead vegetation dries out instantly. Living vegetation begins to boil from the inside.
Water acts as a heat sink, but the top layer is scalding. The aquatic refuge is becoming a soup pot.
Panic sets in, but running generates body heat. In this environment, exertion is a death sentence.
How long could you survive in an oven set to broil? 10 minutes? 5? Give us your estimate below.
Desiccation. The atmosphere is sucking every molecule of moisture out of the North American forest.
The Earth rotates the Americas into the debris field. The bombardment is relentless. Duration, 1 hour.
We are at the precipice. The fuel load is dried, heated, and primed.
We just need a spark.
But we don't need lightning. The air temperature itself is reaching the auto-ignition point of wood.
500 degrees Fahrenheit. The physics phase is over. The combustion phase begins.
The optical distortion is severe. The world looks like a mirage because the air is essentially plasma.
Armor protects against teeth. It does not protect against radiation. The dinosaurs are cooking in their own skin.
The only survivors are deep underground, or deep underwater. The surface is a sterilized zone. Spherules fall like hail, tiny beads of glass, still hot enough to ignite paper.
The next generation is wiped out before it breathes. The thermal pulse shows no mercy.
Thermal saturation. There is no gradient, no shade. The shade is as hot as the light. The giants of the forest are turning into charcoal, standing up. Pyrolysis.
The hydrology cycle is broken. Rivers are evaporating faster than they can flow.
The apex predator falls, not to a rival, but to the laws of thermodynamics.
Ignition. It starts in one place, then everywhere at once.
We call it the spontaneous combustion of the biosphere. It's not a forest fire. It's a planetary burn. The flashpoint of cellulose is reached. Every leaf becomes a match head.
Day becomes night again, but a night illuminated by fire.
From Canada to Mexico, the lights are turning on. But they are fires. The chemistry of the air changes. It becomes toxic. Even if you don't burn, you suffocate.
The margin for survival is measured in inches of soil depth.
The sky is cleared of life. The reign of the flying reptiles ends in a nosedive. Visibility drops to zero. The world is a smoke chamber.
The separate fires merge. A firestorm. It creates its own weather system.
The physics are done. The execution is underway. Now, we watch the world burn.
It doesn't spread. There is no front line. The entire continent ignites in a single second.
Spontaneous combustion. The air is so hot, fuel doesn't need a spark. It just surrenders.
Adrenaline keeps them moving. But they are running through a furnace.
From space, it looks like the lights came on. 1 billion acres, burning at once.
The rivers offer no sanctuary. They are cauldrons. The thermal load boils the shallows dry.
Resin, sap. The lifeblood of the forest becomes accelerant.
Pugilistic attitude. The heat contracts the muscles. The dead appear to be fighting the fire.
Pyrocumulonimbus. The fire creates its own weather. Clouds made of smoke, storms made of ash.
Thermal updrafts rip trees from the ground. Fire tornadoes scour the landscape.
The great North American forest, the lungs of the planet, is exhaling for the last time.
The fire demands oxygen. It sucks air out of caves, out of burrows. It suffocates the underground.
The slow die first. The armored die second. Only the deep survive.
Inside the firestorm, temperatures exceed 800 degrees. Lead melts. Aluminum melts.
The Titans fall. Their size, once their best defense, makes them impossible to cool.
Imagine every city on Earth burning simultaneously. That is a fraction of this energy.
The sun is blotted out. For the survivors, the long dark begins now.
The feedback loop. The fire produces so much ash, it eventually chokes itself.
The fuel is gone. There is nothing left to burn. The roar begins to fade.
Life is stubborn. In the mud, in the dark, hearts are still beating.
A graveyard of carbon. The architecture of the Cretaceous is dismantled. The storm rages on, but the ground is dead. The silence is returning.
The evidence is baked in. This moment is being fossilized as we watch. The landscape is alien. A gray desert where a jungle stood 1 hour ago.
The air is full of cyanide and carbon monoxide. To breathe is to die.
The thermal pulse ends. The planet begins to cool. But the damage is absolute.
The margins of the continent are choked. The poison runs into the sea.
The king is dead. Long, nothing. Not yet.
The rain returns, but it cleans nothing. It is a toxic slurry. Millions of years of biological storage released into the atmosphere in an afternoon.
The scavengers will inherit the Earth. The age of monsters is over. The lights go out. The first night of the Paleogene era begins.
Look at what was lost in the blink of a geological eye.
But the seed bank remains, hidden, waiting for the smoke to clear.
A blood moon, watching over a silent graveyard. 75% of all species, gone. The slate is wiped clean. If you are alive right now, you are the luckiest creature on Earth.
The structure of the ecosystem has collapsed.
The burial begins. The K-Pg boundary layer is being laid down.
The thermal pulse is over. Now comes the impact winter.
The fire is out, but the cold is coming.
Erosion. Without trees to hold the soil, the land washes away.
The pioneers emerge into a world of ghosts. Fragile. Everything is fragile. It is not a landscape. It is a crime scene.
The heat dissipates. Entropy takes over.
Only the stones remember what happened here.
Time loses meaning. Day and night are the same gray.
Life moves on, one step at a time.
The worst hour in history is finished.
The fire is done. Now we check the ledger. 66 million years later, the fire is gone, but the smoke is still here. The K-Pg boundary, a single black line in the geology of the world.
This isn't just rock, it's charcoal. The
the compressed remains of the North American forest.
And Iridium. Cosmic dust. The fingerprint of the assassin asteroid, preserved in the crime scene. Above the black line, the fern spike. The first life to return was the humblest.
And us, the small, the burrowers, the omnivores. We are the children of the survivors.
The monsters died so the meek could inherit. The thermal pulse cleared the board for mammals.
It was a global tragedy, but it was also our genesis.
Hold this rock, and you hold the deadliest hour in Earth's history.
It is everywhere. A planetary scar that never truly healed, just covered over.
The victims are still here, locked in the stone, waiting to tell their story.
The forest grew back. Life is resilient. It bends, but it does not break.
We mastered the fire that once destroyed the world. A poetic irony.
When you see a shooting star, remember, once the sky was full of them.
The evidence is conclusive. The thermal pulse was the ultimate reset button.
The investigation into the midnight noon is closed. Next time, we leave the land. We go deep, into the jaws of the Miocene.
Past is a foreign country. We just have the passport. Did this reconstruction change how you see the extinction? Let us know in the comments.
Like, share, and subscribe to Savannah Sagas. Don't let the history go cold.